Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Boy, that hurt my throat today. It's the allergy season, I guess. But I was thinking about something today. The Giants need a turnaround. The Giants need to get out of the doldrums, the muck that they're stuck in. And I think there are three circumstances that could happen that could cause the Giants to have an epic turnaround. But before we want to get into that, I wanted to just say thank you to everyone. We reached our 1 year mark, and I forgot to commemorate it. My bad. But we were almost at 4,600 subscribers, almost at 300,000 hours of viewing time for the channel. If anyone would have said that we would have been at where we are at this point, I would have thought they were crazy. I've got to do a lot of fun stuff in my career, professional career. And I'm showing some of the pictures, what I've done in some of the career in sports. And it's interesting because out of all the things that I've gotten to do and the people I've gotten to meet, I think this is probably the most satisfying, doing this channel. Because of the fact that A, it's something that you really have to work to gain an audience. And I hope that we're building up a trust in the audience because, like I said, we've provided some pretty detailed and pretty accurate information. And like I said, if you disagree with us and still listen, that's fantastic. If you hate me and still listen, that's fantastic. If you leave me nasty messages, try not to do that, but that's okay. We don't really delete anything unless they're derogatory. But we do the channel so we can create conversation. So you don't always have to agree with me. I like the people that apologize in the comment section when they don't agree with me. You don't have to apologize. If you don't agree with me or you think I'm a horse's ass, let me know. I don't care. It's not going to bother me. We are going to have some fun, interesting things coming on the channel soon. But like I said, these are, I'm playing some of the pictures of some of the things. There's, me on the court at the Knicks games, with the Sixers. On the field doing an event when I was working with the Philadelphia Soul in Philadelphia, of course, in the AFL. But like I said, it's just some fun things. And I just wanted to share them. And when we hit 5,000, or maybe we'll do more, I'll find some more pictures and put them up. But I wanted to get into the three circumstances that I think, if happen, could cause the Giants to have an epic turnaround. We already know the Giants are due for some type of turnaround because honestly, it's been bad, not just for a little bit. 4-12, 5-11, 3-13 after coming off 11-5, and before that 6-10, 6-10, 7-9, and then 2-9-7, and of course a Super Bowl in 11. It has not been a fun road to be a Giants fan, to say the least. But I think there is hope. There is light. There is something at the end of that tunnel, and I hope it's not a train. But I think there is some things that could happen this season that could turn things around. Now, I predicted 9-7 initially. I changed that to 8-8 after everything was going on. But again, I started looking and breaking down the roster, looking at some of the film from last year, looking at some college film of some of the players that we've drafted. And I think there's three things I think that could happen. And if they do happen, I think it would be the epic Giant turnaround. Joe Judge, Coach of the Year, Saquon Barkley, MVP. Number one on my list of the circumstances is going to be the pass rush. I think right now, and I'm going to say it right now, if we think about this, if Leonard Williams can come, and okay, one thing about Leonard Williams, guys. Yes, I did say that Leonard Williams was going to fake a hamstring injury before training camp because he's pissed off about his contract being tagged. I was joking about that. I did not think that was going to happen. I laughed at people think I thought it was going to happen, but I can't take credit for that. That was a joke. But my thing is, in circumstance number one is the pass rush. And I'm not talking about the pass rush as a defensive whole. I'm talking the pass rush on the defensive line. If Leonard Williams can come back to some type of consistency and can come in between 5.5 to 6 sacks, and then if we look at the other side, now I'm not asking Marcus Golden to come back and, duplicate his 10-sack season, but I think if Golden could have 7 sacks on that side, and maybe we can get, between B.J. Hill and, Dexter Lawrence, if we can combine another 6 between those two, on the offense. Excuse me, like on the defensive line. We're already looking at, you're already looking at 19 total sacks. Now, I think that Oshane Ximines is going to be playing on the line, and I predicted anywhere between 7.5 to 9 sacks. So if we go in between and give Oshane his, let's say, 8 sacks, we're looking at a total of 27 sacks from the from the defensive line position. I think that if the defensive line can generate between, I'll say, 23 to 27 sacks. Now, I'm just talking the defensive line itself. I'm not talking about Kyler. I'm not talking about Lorenzo Carter. I'm not talking about Blake. I'm not talking about Conley. I'm not talking about anything. But I'm saying just the line itself. If we can generate anywhere between 23 to 27 sacks just off that line, which I think is doable because, like I said, you have potentially a 10 sack guy in Golden. Hopefully you can get a 5 sack guy out of Dexter. Out of the almost sack Leonard Williams. So if you can get 5 sacks out of him, if you do that, you could potentially have it's anywhere between 13 to 15 of the sacks. So you already have half the sack total. And I think that Dexter Lawrence is going to generate more of a pass rush. I'm looking for a bigger bounce back year from B.J. Hill. I think Oshane Ximines is going to prove where he belongs. And Carter Coughlin, he may go back into the end position, which I think if he does, like I said, I think we can make that total. And I think that would go a long way in helping the Giants move forward into, back into the putting a couple games back in the win column. Circumstance number 2. Daniel Jones. And I'm not thinking, I've always said it, I think Daniel Jones was a good pick. I would have seen him at 17 because I wanted Josh Allen. But you know what? Like we said before, you go and get your quarterback, and that's what Gettleman did. George Young did it. Ernie Accorsi did it. You go and get your guy if you have to. Like I said, if you have to. I mean, if anyone thought that, quarterback Phil Simms, Morehead State. If anyone had thought they would have heard Pete Rozelle say that name in '79, they were crazy. But like I said, Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones can not massively exceed his rookie season, but if Daniel Jones can find the consistency and stay away from the fumbles and pick up anywhere between 3,500 yards and anywhere between 28 to 30 touchdowns, that's going to show me that, and limit it to at least 12 interceptions, that's going to show me that he is maturated as a quarterback and he'll have the ability to mature more and more after every game. And I think in the Garrett system, if he goes, like I said, if he goes Air Coryell, I think those numbers are more than attainable. And I think Jones is a quarterback that can do it. But if he does that, and I'm gonna have part 2 have a caveat. I'm gonna have a 2B. If he does that and Saquon stays healthy. And I'm not asking Saquon. I've said I thought Saquon could rush for 2,000 and win the MVP. I'm not asking for Saquon to do that. I'm asking Saquon to emulate his rookie season, maybe. 1,200 yards, 10, 12 touchdowns. Another 50 to 60 receptions. For maybe another 800 yards. Duplicate that rookie season. If those two things happens under those two circumstances, we've already started the massive turnaround. Now, circumstance number 3, that if it does happen, or it could happen, I think will help generate the turnaround, and that is if, and this isn't a big if, but if the secondary turns out to be lights out. And I mean the secondary turns out to be what we all hope it's going to be. That Pepper and McKinney, complement. The only problem with Pepper and McKinney, they're kind of similar as the same, but they're kind of have the same tendencies and attributes. But I think McKinney can be better in coverage. He's not fantastic in one-on-one coverage, but I think he'll be better in coverage. And I think if Bradbury, plays up to expectations, and then we have a plethora of guys, between Holmes and there's my chair. This is for Jersey 86. I can't remember his name, but this is for Jersey. That's my chair squeaking, my man. But if they can play lights out, and then we fill that other side on the other side of Beal with, the other side of Bradbury. I keep saying Beal because I keep thinking Beal's going to have a big season. But if Beal or Love or Holmes or Haley can fill that other spot, and then we pick up two guys that, of course, can play, third down quarter or play in the slot, and they play like they should play. If that circumstance happens, and if they become a top 10 secondary, now they don't have to be 1 through 5. If they were anywhere between 7 and 10, rankings, we have the ability, if those three circumstances happen, of turning the season into a winning season and making the playoffs. And again, like I said, these are three circumstances that, if they did happen, would turn around the New York Giants season. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. As always, if you want to, you can drop me an email. I love reading the emails at onlineBigBlue@gmail.com, or you can just follow us at Twitter at OnlineBigBlue1. Leave us a message there too. I mean, I've been trying to get back to the emails in a timely fashion. Sometimes it's difficult, but I try to do it within at least a day or two. Some great content I've been reading, and like I said, I want to do a mailbag day because I've really had some great questions and great comments, and I wish I could do a video. I wish I could do 10 videos a day, but everyone knows life happens. So, but again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe, if you could ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.